Hey, it's Scott from San Marcos Makes, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to stuff potatoes with Boudain and Italian sausage. This is a very simple dish. Let's see how we do it. So a little background on this video. I was watching one of my favorite channels. It's out of there. I'm gonna use that as my inspiration. He used some sausage to stuff his, and I'm gonna make that one, but I wanna do it my style as well, and that's where I'm gonna use the Boudain. One thing about the Boudain, my absolute favorite brand in the world, DJ's Boudain. Not everybody's gonna be able to get this, I get it. I'm very lucky that my area pretty recently started carrying it. I found this brand back when I lived in Beaumont. My absolute favorite Boudain. It's even better than some of the stuff I get in Louisiana. So if you can find it, that's the kind you want to use. But I'm also going to use some Italian sausage. This is just your everyday Italian sausage. If you can get it ground, awesome. If you cannot, the links will work fine. You can use anything you want about this. That's what's great about this recipe. You're gonna take something, any kind of substance, whether it's meat, whatever you want to think of, put it in the potato and roast it. So I can think of many things else that would be good in this recipe. What do you think we should stuff? Put it down in the comments. We'll try to make it next time. All right, let's get these potatoes ready. I've already peeled them. You would want to peel them, but let's get the hole put in them. So one necessity that you're gonna need this tool. You cannot do this with a knife. You probably could, it's just not gonna be as neat. Get yourself an apple core. This I bought on Amazon. I will put it down in the description. I make nothing off of it. But this was less than $10 and it works fantastic. Obviously for apples it works great, but it works really good for this potato. So all you're gonna do, and you need to be pretty careful with this, as straight as possible, go slow. You do not want to get your fingers on this. If you're worried about it, wear gloves. But all you have to do is put a little pressure down, keep the potato as straight as you can. You can rotate it back and forth just a little bit till you go all the way to your cutting board. I'm at the bottom. I simply twist and get it out. Can be, oh, it didn't go, oh, I didn't go all the way through. Make sure, look on the bottom, that you can see that it went through. Then you're gonna pull up, and you have this core. Don't get rid of the core, we can cook those. But you'll see now you have a hole. So we're gonna do all of the rest of them. So as we went through of them, you'll definitely see what is the right size. You don't want them too big because you won't be able to get them through. But for the most part, all of them did pretty good. Now, I would save the plug. These will roast just like the other ones will. So we're gonna use these as the plug. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So don't get rid of all that stuff yet. But let's set that aside. And let's get our meat out. Okay, so first let's try a little bit of sausage. We'll do a couple sausage and then a couple Boudain. All you gotta do is just grab you a little bit of handful and you're gonna stuff it in there. Now, of course, this is Italian sausage. If you're using some kind of meat that's not seasoned, you might wanna season it up a little bit, but you could use hamburger. You could even thought about doing like hot dogs, like French fries and hot dogs. There's so many options you could do here, but you want to basically stuff it until both ends. I've got my finger on one end and I'm just going to stuff it and maybe even grab the other end and stuff it. You gotta remember it's going to shrink a little bit in as it cooks. Set that aside, but don't forget we've got to plug this up. Shouldn't really matter which plug you're going to use. And I'm just going to simply put it there, maybe wipe some of that off, and again, push down in there so that I got a pretty good sealed potato. Once it is sealed, what I'm gonna use is this Dutch oven. I'm just gonna basically put them in the Dutch oven. So I'm gonna do a couple Italian sausage, I'm gonna do a couple Boudain. All right, so let's first talk about Boudain. So what is Boudain, if you do not know? So Boudain is a very Cajun item. You know, a lot of people, because of its look, thinks it's like a sausage. And I guess because of the shape, maybe think sausage, but this is rice dressing. Truly one of my favorite things to eat. These make really good. Get them in a ball, deep fry them. Boudain balls is one of my absolute favorite things in the world to eat. But what we're gonna use it for, just simply take the casing off. So they're normally stuffed in a sausage style casing. So it peels off extremely easy. And we're gonna take a potato and just kind of cut it. And you can see that it's kind of just like, I mean, it is dirty rice in a sense with a little more meat. I think dirty rice is probably those that have never had Boudain. In a way, it is dirty rice. Good description of it. But we're gonna pack this full. And we'll take a plug. I'm just gonna cut a little bit off each end, shove it in, both sides, just like that. And we'll have that one filled up. All right, so once you have them stuffed, and probably a little bit before you were at this point, preheat your oven to about 450. So I have this in a Dutch oven, cast iron Dutch oven. I've got 6 in there, but one thing you can do, take these plugs. I mean, heck, these are still good. I'm gonna put them in there, just kind of toss them in there. They'll be great. So that'll work out good. All right, next thing we want to add is butter, and quite a bit of butter. I don't know the exact amount, but a couple tablespoons. Okay, more than a couple tablespoons. Nobody said my cooking is healthy. I don't know, close to a full stick of butter, whatever that is. You also want to put some chicken stock. This is gonna be about a cup, but I probably am not gonna actually put a cup. I put about a half cup. Just kind of want to cover the bottom. So we just want to cover the bottom with some chicken stock, a little butter. The seasoning that's in the meat plus the butter should be enough. If you want to sprinkle some herbs, this would be a good time to do it. We're going to cover the Dutch oven. We're going to get it in the oven for 450 degrees for about 15 minutes. So the 15-minute timer just went off. I'm gonna pull this out. All right, so we got it out, and you just want to baste using this butter. Get it on top of all of your potatoes. You may have to move it around just a little bit to get to some of the liquid. And then we're just gonna now put it in the oven with the lid off and cook it 10 to 15 minutes. We will check it. We're basically wanting all of the stock to evaporate, leaving just the butter, and it will roast the potatoes. So you're gonna stop when they're golden brown. The food is out of the oven. I'm gonna let it set on the stove for a few minutes to cool off a little bit, and then we'll transfer it to a plate and try it out. But look at the golden brown that it got. I did throw a little bit on the broiler and kept basting it with the butter. I used a brush actually. It helped, but if you had a basting, something to baste with, that would work really well. But looking good. Let's let it cool down. All right, finished product. Let's cut these open and see what they look like. We'll cut right down the middle on both of them. All right, so this first one we have is the Boudain, looking really good. Other one is the sausage. Italian sausage looks really good. Let's try them though. I'm gonna first go the Boudain route. Get a little potato, a little Boudain. They are still extremely hot. But let's see if we can mount this down. It's really good. I think it probably could use a little bit of salt. Let's try the Italian sausage one. Get a little bit of Italian sausage, a little potato. That's good. That's really good too. I think the only thing else that this would need, and it would probably depend on which one you're doing, is some sort of sauce. I think would be really good. You know, immediately I'm just thinking of a simple ketchup or something. But it's really good. I like both of these a lot. I don't know which one I like better. I think I'm also gonna put a little bit of the bottom of that butter, a little bit more on here. This tastes really good. Potatoes is roasted good, so really good. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please always remember, beans don't go in chili, okra don't go in gumbo, but it is perfectly acceptable to put pineapple on pizza.